What's going on YouTube? Basehead Stewie here, bringing you an update on the Datsun. Today, I think we're going to tackle the rear subframe on this thing. I'll show you real quick. I finished up the motor mounts, which is awesome. Or, sorry, not motor mounts, I meant cat mounts, but there they are, all bolted in all four corners. Obviously, they're basically finished, but still, you know, I might add a couple more gussets and do floor pans and all that kind of stuff I still got to do. But today, I think we're going to start on getting that rear subframe to mount up, making the tabs for that, bracing the frame so we can cut out about a foot of the frame that I have to remove to allow for travel on the upper control arms for the 240 depth. But so that's the game for the day. We'll see how far we get. I'm going to start by clearing out the mounts, and let's get to it. Alrighty guys, so we're ready to start here. Going to start by taking this mount out and the one over there as well, clearing up the frame. I'm going to take this bed mount off as well, right here. And basically what we have to do is make enough room for this and this to clear the frame. So we're going to end up cutting probably right around there to, you know, right around here-ish. And then we'll figure out all the details once we get that cut out. I'm going to leave this cross brace in as long as I can, just because I don't want the frame to tweak at all. I don't want it to twist down on one side or twist up on one side. So we'll try to get a cross brace in before we remove that, just to make sure everything stays square. But so we're going to start out here. I'm going to use my welding mask. Has a grinder function on it, so I don't get any shrapnel in the face. And then we're just going to use a cutoff wheel. And then we're going to start hacking this up and start fabbing. Here we go. Alrighty guys, it's a couple days later now. And I'll show you the progress I did in the back half. Not very much done, but here's what we got. So as you can see, I welded up the two mounting tabs to mount with the rear of the subframe. I added that cross brace in. I still haven't cut these out yet. I'm going to do that. The downside to this is when I welded this up, I didn't take into account that the frame was already sitting at ride height. Therefore, if you look, you can see the rear axles there are at quite a steep angle, and I don't want to risk breaking axles or anything like that, or damaging boots and things like that from being at a high angle. So that means that all that wonderful work I just did, well, not all of it, at least the mounting tabs, I'm going to have to cut off and then weld approximately 2 inches higher to try to alleviate some of that axle angle to get it more parallel or horizontal, flat. That way there's no binding, and just to make everything as good as possible. So I'm gonna cut those out, weld in some new tabs, and then I also just picked up a new tool that's gonna help me start doing some better work, and I'll show you that here in just a second. Here's the new tool that I'm really excited for, and it should help me to do much better work, especially in the welding department. I just bought an Eastwood MIG 250. It is a 220 welder, but it comes with an adapter so that I can run on 110. I will have 220 in the garage soon, hopefully. I'm going to get somebody out here to hook that up for me. But it's just a basic MIG for the most part. It does have an option for a spool gun. Everything is in volts. Wire speed up to 530 inches per minute. 250 amps total. So I mean, you can weld up to 1/2 inch steel with this, which is awesome. I mean, 1/2 inch steel is way thicker than anything I'll need to weld. And basically any auto tech would ever need to weld. I mean, the majority of the stuff I'm using is going to be under 3/8. Like 3/8 is the thickest for anything, and that's like super bracing or something stupid like that. Usually most of the bracing is in, 3/16 or 1/4 inch, something like that. But I'm going to give a quick rundown of this machine, all the stuff that came with it. So I have my box of goodies over here that came with it. Manual. And then I haven't used it yet, so everything's still in the box. There is your MIG gun and cable. It's a 10-foot cable, real heavy duty. There's a swivel on the end of the gun here, which is super nice. So you don't have to have you're not really fighting the weight of the wire, so that's cool. Comes with a gas regulator for your argon or mix. This is the adapter cable. So you can see it's got a 220 outlet on the end, and it terminates into a 110, so you can use it on 110. The welder auto senses for that. And then on 110 you have up to 140 amps, I believe, of available current, which is good for like, I want to say like 3/16. Should be fine. You could probably get close to welding 1/4 inch with that, but it's going to be a little bit struggle. Heavy duty ground wire. I mean, nice thick wire. Strong clamp. You see there's a braided copper ground in the clamp. So really nice stuff. The shitty starter mess that every welder in the world comes with, they got one of those too. And then the gas line. There's also a little baggie, it must be in the house, where it comes with like a little Allen set for your for the set screw to hold your wire, your gun cable into the machine. Let me see what else. Oh, it came with a couple different tips for different size wire. If you're running, you know, 0.30, 0.35. I don't know if it came with a 4.5, but I think it did. But yeah, back to the machine here. You get this nice heavy duty cable, little latch here, pull that, lift up. Ooh, what's in the way? I have to move the machine real quick. There we go. Open that, that flips up. You have your chart up here. You have your chart up here, all your recommended settings to get you started, and then you can fine tune from there. You can also, if you look, you switch the polarity on it, and then you can run gasless, so you can run flux core if you don't want to run gas, which is nice, you know, if you ever need to take it somewhere you don't feel like hauling a tank. It has an adapter for the 8-inch spools or the standard like 2-inch spools. There's the polarity. It has a quick feed option to help run the wire out, not wasting gas. And then this is the feeder and the adjustment knob and all that stuff for a tensioner rod. Everything in there, everything's metal. Different grooves. You just flip this. You flip this around for the different size wires. Everything's metal. Everything looks heavy duty. I mean, it's definitely way nicer than what I need. I mean, I'm not a professional by any means. I just got this for us steel. These welders are right around $800-ish retail. You can find them usually for around $7-ish online. And like I said, I mean, 110, 220, 250 amps. It'll do basically anything you want it to do. Weld aluminum with the optional spool gun. I don't have that. So it'll basically do anything you need it to do, especially in a garage, like home garage setting. It's an extremely capable welder. I've heard good reviews. I'm going to set it up. I'll do a couple test passes on maybe some 3/16 and stuff like that. Get a feel for it, and then we'll come back and check it out. Alrighty guys, so there's the machine running. It's not too terribly loud, but it does run all the time. It doesn't come on like when it heats up. Like as soon as you start it up, it's running. I just ran 2 quick little passes on these guys using the recommended settings. I did turn it up a little bit hotter than what it recommends, which seemed to work out good. Like I said, I'm running on 110. These are, I think 3/16 steel. And like, I think I almost need to like turn it down because it was so fast. It welded so much faster than that piece of shit one I got, and it's so smooth. I love it. Like, that's literally, like, I have very little MIG experience, and the MIG experience I do have is like with shitty welders. But like, that thing was so smooth, it's ridiculous. Like, if that's how all decent welders weld, like at least that good or better, it's crazy. I completely understand how people can make like gorgeous looking welds or really good welds with MIGs, because dude, if you're using a cheap Harbor Freight welder, you owe yourself to go get a decent welder, because that thing is so smooth, it is ridiculous. It's just, I'm speechless. Like I said, I don't have a lot of welding experience. I've only used like probably 3 MIGs in my life. One's a piece of shit Harbor Freight. One was a Lincoln that my dad used to have, which is like a 140 or like something like that. And now this one, and that thing's gangster. That works so nice. I can't wait to go get some argon so I can make some pretty welds. That was with flux core. I didn't clean it, prep it, anything like that. That's why the coloration is so terrible. And like you see the black sooty shit and all the contaminants. But yeah, I'm super geeked. I think this is going to be a game changer with some practice on it. I think I can lay out some good beads. So, no doubt, if you get a good deal on the Eastwood, don't sleep on them, man. It seems to be a good welder from my point of view. But, hey, what do I know? Alrighty, guys. So, just played around a little bit there, just welding different little strips and some, I think that's, I want to say that's 3/16 to 1/4 inch, just playing around with the welds. Heat, wire speeds, still pretty hot. That little piece that I welded together, oop, right there. So that's all flux core, and like, I'm super excited. Like I said, I'm just super excited. It works really well. The more I get to play with it, I'm sure I can start actually doing some decent welds. We get the argon and stuff this week sometime. Start welding with solid wire instead of flux core, which is great. Make everything look a lot cleaner, be a lot stronger. Overall, just doing good things. I think I'm going to end the video there. When you guys get back, my next video will be me cutting that off, redoing that rear sub, those mounts in the rear, hopefully with argon and solid wire on the new MIG. Making the front tabs and strut towers. Strut towers coming soon. I gotta go buy some steel. I don't really want to use my DOM over there. I don't want to use my DOM roll cage steel for the strut towers. I'm just going to go buy some regular mild, it's not DOM, but still 1 3/4 120 wall. Alright guys, thanks as always. If you want to, you can subscribe. And then have a good one.